All right. Welcome back to Late Tonight Love. I'm Jazz. She's Levy. And some nights, the quiet things in our lives suddenly start speaking up. The job we've outgrown, the kids who notice more than we think, the relationships that feel tender in places we didn't expect. Tonight, we're sitting with all of it. From office politics that feel like kindergarten show and tell, to the ache of uneven parenting, to the messy, beautiful truth of loving people who don't always love us the way we hope. This is a night for honesty, gentleness, and maybe a little courage. So settle in, dim the lights, and let's talk about things we usually whisper. Maybe. Yeah, so let's talk about this whole cat thing. So me and Anthony were sitting out here and enjoying a moment of adult downtime. So we say, sitting here chatting back and forth. And Cat was in here and climbed up on the computer, on this computer case in there.
Uh-oh.
Which he's not supposed to do. Because there's all kinds of havoc and cables and cords and whatnot. Not to mention that the thing exhausts upwards and he's sitting on the exhaust fan. So, luckily there's no side, so it's not that big of a deal. But on a normal computer, this would be a big deal. Anyway, because your cat is Mr. Skittish over here and flips out over Lord knows what, he's flipped out, jumped off the thing, knocked the computer down, broke it. Said I had to take everything apart and put it all back together again and for it to get working. And I've had a long enough day. So no, he gets to stay outside tonight.
Poor kitty.
Oh, poor kitty. Yeah, that's what you say. Poor kitty. I had to crawl on the floor, take the computer apart. In place, mind you, because getting that thing out of there with all the cables and cords attached to it. And I've had a long enough day. I had to get up at 7:30 on my day off to go down to Earth Day, spend all day at the Earth Day event.
And then you got to come home and spend time with Kitty.
Spend time with the cat, yeah. Uh-huh. Which is why we're not running with second cameras. We normally run with 3 cameras and stuff, even though I'd never get to edit them. But I'm practicing, right? I'm getting into the spirit of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have a chance to test anything. Don't even know if it's fully working, but it hasn't crashed yet. So anyway, that's been my day. So I spent all day, if I'm a little burnt out today and a little off my game.
Well, you took a nap before the show. You don't usually do that.
No, well, I was more just my back was killing, my legs and back were killing me. I needed to stretch. And you know what happens when I stretch.
Yeah.
If I'm tired and I have to stretch, it's a nap. I'm old. What do you want from me? All right. In our life segment tonight, we're diving into the strange ecosystems of modern work, where some folks are doing nothing for 3 years and others are dodging surprise team calls like it's laser tag. We've got toxic bosses outsourcing their guilt, coworkers oversharing in icebreakers, and the eternal question, how long do you have to stay at a job before it counts as experience? It's a mix of burnout, boundaries, and the quiet rebellion of wanting something better. But let's be clear, this is a time universal concept. This is nothing new. There's nothing new today. You know, circumstances are different, but the fundamental of everybody hating their boss has gone back since the beginning of time, since bosses have been in existence.
And, I believe there are letters written in Egyptian times on stones.
Oh yeah, you should see some of the customer service complaints on the the tablets and stuff.
Roman
tablets and things. Oh yeah, the quality of stuff you sold me was crap, and you go on. It's hilarious. It's like the same complaints we have today. So
nothing's changed.
Well, lots have changed. The circumstances have changed. The details have changed. But the fundamentals haven't changed.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Okay, so what are we starting off with here?
Okay. I have done close to nothing at my office job for 3 years. Anything constructive to do to pass the time?
Well, yeah, your job. You're there for a reason. How have you gotten by without doing anything for 3 years?
I don't know.
That's the actual question.
Well, it's just not a lot of workload.
So then take more on. If you're bored, take more on.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of start doing things that need to be done. In every organization, there's things that need to be done that people don't have a chance to get to. Start getting to those things. Just do them, right? The small little things that need to get done, right? And you notice something needs to be done. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be my suggestion. Occupy yourself, but also to make yourself more useful.
Okay.
So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can understand how, after 3 years, it's finally getting to you.
Well, here's the problem. What happens if they realize that the job they have you in isn't a full-time job?
Yeah.
So you have to make it one. Show some initiative. You have the opportunity to show some initiative. So I would show some initiative.
Yeah.
Other things you could do is you could, organize things a little bit better, become even more efficient while you have time to do it. Plan for the future, get ahead of things instead of behind things, do documentation of your job, the basic kind of things. You also would have the opportunity for self-improvement. You've got opportunity to do some self-education when you've got nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
So spend some time on career enhancements, career improvements. Just keep busy and as productive as possible. Do the little things is my genuine suggestion. Just start doing little things that need to be done.
Okay.
Copy your ad of paper, fill it up. People do actually notice the little things.
They really do. I do.
People notice the little things more than they notice the big things, oddly enough. So just start doing little things that help your coworkers, help your team become a better team. And that's the best way to, be noticed, oddly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I quit my job yesterday, and my toxic boss is having them my only remaining coworker, calling me, asking me how to do parts of my job. I don't legally have to answer, right?
You don't legally have to answer no, but there are some things, like if they're asking you where this, important piece of paper is, and it takes you 30 seconds to send a text or something, okay, you do it. But no, you don't have, there's no obligation to spend, hours or even 20 minutes explaining things. But, if you are lax with where you put your passwords and things and you've left some, some steaming piles of whatever, forget your boss. Think about your coworker for a second who's got to try to figure that stuff out. So, make sure make sure the passwords got passed around and all that kind of stuff. Just because you want to leave on your best foot. Forget them. You want to leave on your best foot.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Definitely. You really do.
But do you have to go and sit there and walk them through their, your day of your job? No, you don't. But make sure people know what important documents are. Make sure that people know what, really important timelines are and passwords.
That's it.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you legally required to? Probably not, but we're not talking about legally.
No, you're talking about you looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 5 years, because you're not going to care for the next 6
No,
months.
you're not going to care. But we're talking about future you.
Yeah, future you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long should I stay on a job just to put it on my CV and have experience?
Well, okay.
He's 19.
This is the thing. At 19, they just want to know that you can show up on time and be dependable. But that's all that actually matters when you're 19.
Yeah.
They're not expecting you to have a whole bunch of relevant experience. They want to see, are you going to show up and are you going to be dependable? So what you want is the job to be at 19. You should probably still be working there. But, sometimes summer jobs and things like that, they understand that. If you're young and you have a summer job or you have jobs that only last Christmas season, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Put those on there because those are valid experience. They show that you can show up and get on time. But hey, it was Christmas season. It was a seasonal job.
Yeah.
But they understand. It shows that you are able to be dependable, reliable. That's what they're actually looking for at 19. They're not trying to match experience. You're 19 years old. How much experience do you have? They know they're not finding experience. What they want is dependability. Yeah. can you show up on time? Can you show up, looking like whatever it is the job requires? Different jobs. Some jobs require a suit and tie as kind of the uniforms. Other jobs can be flip flops and shorts and a tank top because you're you're doing customer service in a call center and no one's ever seen you, right? They just make sure you show up in the proper attire for that culture, that need, blah 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 blah. So at 19, don't worry about it so much. Just worry about showing up on time and doing the best job you can. That's it. Yeah. But if you get fired because
And at 19, that's a tall order.
Yeah. And if you get fired because you are terrible at your job, don't put that job on your resume.
Just don't put it on there.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
There's no requirement that you have to tell them every job you did. That's one of those things. You're not lying by omission on that thing.
No.
No. Because no one puts everything about their lives on their resume. No one's going to read it. So everybody's selective about what they put on their resume.
Absolutely.
When you're 19, you're not that selective because you ain't got that much to put on there. So just to fill things out, right? You've got to. But that's what volunteering is for.
Yeah.
Volunteering is actually a very good resume enhancer because it shows a couple things, right? It shows that you care about something other than yourself. And it also shows that you're dependable and you can show up on time for, not actually much money or none, but that you're motivated for other reasons.
Yes.
So it says, hey, this person can actually do work and they're willing to do work that they care about at least on their own without direct compensation. You do get compensated for volunteer work. It just happens 3, 4, 6 years down the road where the networks you're building and opportunities start showing up. That's where those things happen. So, okay.
I'm 33 female. I'm afraid my husband is having an emotional affair with a coworker.
Okay, so here's the question. What is wrong with your relationship that he is not coming to you for his emotional support? Now, here's the thing. He may not be having the emotional affair you think he has, right? Men and women have vastly different views on emotion and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So your perception of the relationship does not make it reality. But if you are concerned about it, then you understand there's a flaw in your marriage at the moment. And the question becomes, what are you going to do about that?
I take a different view on my partner in having work. I call them crushes. Now, I am 64, and I have come to realize that within a relationship, there's going to be now people, I wouldn't call it an emotional affair. It's just a delight in someone, a mutual admiration society. Nothing romantic, nothing committal to it. It's just I think you're really cool, And what is wrong with that? You know what? I don't see any reason what's wrong with somebody thinking you're really cool because I think you're really cool.
Well,
And why can't you have friends that you like? What's wrong with that?
I just pointed out that if she's worried about something, and it's okay, then she's clearly worried about something wrong in her relationship. Right? It happens. You've been married for 10 years, 8 years, 7, 8 years.
2, 3 kids.
Or not. There's a couple careers you're trying to balance.
Yeah.
You get in what people would call the rut. And next thing you know, you're feeling a little disconnected. And you see he can laugh and joke with his coworker because they're going through some piece of crap at work right now, some goofy ass transition. And, it's like trauma bonding, oftentimes.
Yeah, it is.
Oftentimes it's like trauma bonding. It's not really a romantic, but someone who's feeling disconnected from your husband, sees him out there having fun time with someone who may or may not be somewhat attractive, or you're feeling frumpy and, and he's at this. But it doesn't matter. The problem is actually her perceptions, right? If something is wrong with her marriage, and she knows it, even if it's just they're feeling disconnected, right? That's not a major wrong with her marriage, just they're feeling disconnected.
Yeah.
Because life, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
This is a big warning sign that she's feeling disconnected. Okay, I'm feeling disconnected. That's what's really happening right here. She's feeling disconnected, and so this is sticking out more than it would have if she wasn't. So deal with that.
If you could find some, now that's one of the reasons why I like having this hobby with you, because we can connect. I learn more about you. I get to share my opinion, and it's a bonding time for us.
So there you go. Share up, do a podcast. Who cares if anybody's listening?
Yeah.
That's our answer to it. Just reconnect with your husband would be my suggestion. Start ways to start reconnecting. Instead of blaming people for humans, for being human, instead of saying, hey, I think there's something wrong with my relationship, let's start blaming people for it. Let's say, hey, I think there's something wrong with my relationship. How do I fix this? How do I start fixing this? Change your mindset. My suggestion.
That's good advice.
Okay.
When did corporate meetings turn into kindergarten thank you circles?
Well, it started back when they started giving participation trophies. This is the end result of participation trophies. This is the participation trophy kids have now entered middle management. The 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're now in middle management and doing this kind of goofy thing. Because it's what they do. It's what they've done their whole entire lives. Why wouldn't they do it now? Everybody gets a trophy. And so now you got to spend 30 minutes of what should be a 45-minute meeting.
A 15-minute meeting.
Well,
you switched it.
No, they spent 30 minutes doing thank yous and circle things of what should be a 45-minute meeting. Right? So now your meeting isn't going to take 15 minutes because it was going to take 45. So now your 45-minute meeting is now an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Got it.
An hour and 15 minutes or something, because it's going to take 20 minutes to end this stupid thing because you got to thank everybody for coming and, thank the Martians for not attacking or something. Who never knows what the latest wave of guilt trip stuff is. It's just... I don't know. But that's what happened. It's the participation trophy thing has just reached the boardroom. And now you're paying the price with long, stupid meetings. Can we get to the point, please? Yeah, I'm with you. Can we get to the point? I will talk 1,000,000 miles an hour like an auctioneer in a meeting to get this thing done with. Did you guys didn't catch that? Well, I'll send you all the stuff in the meeting. I'm out of here.
You like meetings that much, do you?
Well, they're my favorite. And the sad thing is my new boss likes meetings. My old boss hated them. And she'd avoid them at all costs. We just dealt with things as they came up. It was no big deal. New boss likes to schedule meetings and things like that. I get it. He's focused on different things. It's not really a problem. It's just an adjustment. And I'm not a meetings person. I like to just walk up to somebody and say, hey, I got a question. I got a problem. I don't want to wait till Thursday. Can I technically wait till Thursday? Yeah, this isn't really needed until next week, but I want to solve it now. I don't want to put it on a list and deal with it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. What is next?
Anyone else not like sharing things about themselves during meeting icebreakers? Okay, so here's what you do. You have like 4 or 5 facts about yourself that are just banal, but interesting. Like my favorite one was I was raised on a non-working farm. And, because that's a little different, that's sharing something about me, but it's so safe. It's safe, How can anyone pick on that?
Oh, see, I take the opposite approach. I maliciously comply. Hey, so tell me something interesting about yourself. I hate meetings. I think this kind of stuff is a waste of time. Okay, let's move on. You'd be surprised how effective it is pointing out how silly this is and how long it takes. And I'd rather be working, can actually change culture and behavior of people, at least when you're in the meeting. Because you can't go around the room if it's going to come to me and says, I hate the fact that we spend 20 minutes doing this at the beginning of a meeting. I've got piles of work to do on my desk. Can we get this done, please? That's what I want everybody to know about me. You can tell, I love being meetings, and I love finding ways to not be invited, but in ways that are actually make you look good. I want to be working, not sitting here wasting my time talking to you. I know you people. I can just talk to them in the break room if I want to know you. I don't need a freaking icebreaker. I'm not here. Oh, God, drives me crazy. We went to this conference, this big conference thing. And I was a speaker on it, right? Everybody else spent like 10 minutes justifying their existence on these panels, right? I spent no time justifying my existence on this panel. All right, yep, this is here. This is what we do. This is what I do, and this is why I do it. Boom, done. Let's get out of here. Let's give people the information they actually want, need. Good God Almighty! Everybody else took twice as long because half their time was spent.
Qualifying themselves. You're qualified because someone put you on the front of the room. That's the qualifying thing. You don't need to qualify yourself. You're there. The qualifying thing is you being on the front of the room. That's like in AA, okay, I understand if you're sharing at an hour meeting, you're going to do a 10-minute qualifying. But if you got 5 minutes to talk in an AA meeting, do you really need to qualify? That's why you say, hi, I'm an alcoholic. There's your qualifier.
Hi, I'm an alcoholic. I'm here.
We don't want to hear your drunk-a-log.
No, that's what your mentor's
We
for.
did that.
That's what your mentor's for.
Sponsor.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. They don't want to hear it either.
Same thing, yeah, but they will.
But they will.
That's, they don't want to, but they will. All right, what's next?
My manager keeps calling me on Teams unannounced. How to stop it?
He's your manager, and he's calling, and he's communicating with you. What do you mean, stop it? He's doing his job. You may not like his style, right? Like me, I don't particularly like my boss liking meetings, but it's his decision, not mine. I adapt. It's not that big of a deal. I just don't like meetings. I just like dealing with stuff differently. Mm-hmm. It's a preference. It's all right. It'll be all right. Learning to adapt to other people's, needs of communication is, sign of intelligence. So adapt.
There you go.
Because, how do I stop it? You don't.
It's your manager.
Well, I got hair in my mouth. Anyway, here's the thing. If he is calling you about you continually screwing up, well, stop screwing up. That's how you stop it. So it depends what he's communicating about. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Can you look in the mirror? Is he communicating with you because you're a screw up and you mess something up again and he's having to have call you to fix it again? Or is he calling you because, hey, the Jones file just been updated. We've got a new sales. I need you to make sure the pipeline gets... Is he passing you on genuine information and he doesn't like sending emails? He prefers phone calls.
Yeah.
And he prefers phone calls. You're just going to have to deal with it because that's your job by definition. Sorry. No, you're not getting much sympathy from me. I despise Teams too, but it is what it is. If he didn't have Teams, he'd be calling you on the phone, like in the old days. Cell phone,
yeah.
Like in the old days, your desk phone, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Which is funny because my desk phone rings to my cell phone. So if someone called my desk right now, it would ring to my cell phone because I'm too lazy to set up the times. I can set it up when to call my phone and when to go to voice and all that. I'm just too lazy. Just send it all the time. Screw it. I can ignore it if I want to.
People call you that often, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, especially back in the day when I ran the radio station.
Yeah.
But even now, and this summer's going to be crazy because all the filmmakers, I'm their contact. And
This is going to be great.
this is going to be great. I'm blind leading the blind on some of this stuff. Well, okay, it's not quite that bad, right? But it's my first time through the film festival as the overall manager, back end person, right? I'd never done this before. Sometimes you just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I've got people to lean on. I've got the person who ran it before.
Yeah.
I called the person who's in, a different county who's done the same thing and type of thing and chatted to them about it. And a lot of the people who are in the process have been through it before. So,
Okay.
I've got all the resources I need to, even if I was completely blind and dumb, I could manage it out. But I have been through parts of it before, right? It's not like, I've done, but I did voting, made sure the audience voting went. I did tickets and stuff last year. And now this year I have the whole thing, which is hilarious to me because, I am the least visually creative person. And now I'm in charge of 10 people making 10 movies, 10-minute movies. I didn't even read their scripts. I just sent them to the judges, collated the judges' information, right? Decided the winner, which wasn't me. It was judges, right? I just assembled the process.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
This is wonderful.
Is it?
Yeah, this is a great thing to put on your resume. And now you can do the event planning for help me with our commitment ceremony when we do it.
I don't like doing event planning.
Well, you have to get a DJ, mister.
Oh, well, that I can do.
Okay.
I'll just have Marcus find somebody for me.
Okay, there we go. So. That or we rent a jukebox for $800.
Why would we rent a jukebox when I can bring this thing here and just play it out to any spare thing in the world? I've got 20,000 songs. I could just quite literally random play my playlist.
Yeah, but we need the microphone and the speakers and everything.
Gee, it's too bad I don't work in media. And
Oh, really? See, this is shaping up nicely. Okay. We'll have to talk more about this later.
Uh-huh. Sure thing. All right, that's it. Work doesn't define us. That went off the rails. Work doesn't define us, but how we navigate it can shape us. Whether you're escaping a bad boss, setting boundaries with a manager who loves the call now button, or just trying to survive another thank you circle. God, just survive those. Remember, your time is yours. You need to protect it. Have a good night. And please remember to love. Wait, before we go, we forgot to do everything tonight.
Oh.
Hey, you can find us at latenightLove.us. Send your questions, comments, suggestions to love@latenightLove.us. And do the like, subscribe, share, good, fun stuff thing for us. We much, much appreciate it. Have a good night. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the